Hello besties, today we're coming with another tutorial, the Floral Misfit. This one is a cutie. I'm super excited for this tutorial. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at Misfit Makers and also go check out our website at www.misfit-makers.com. Okay, let's get started. I am using a prepped 24 ounce from the Steel Magnolias. This is my favorite tumbler. The plumps are so perfect for these kind of projects. So I am gonna start by tracing the bottom of my tumbler. Very technical here. So I just trace, and then I'm gonna cut out that little circle. This is gonna help us find our middle to our tumbler so we can split it right in half. So after you cut your little circle, you're gonna wanna fold it in half, and then we're gonna place it on the bottom of our tumbler to make a line. So I will show you guys. I am talking way too fast, faster than my video, but it's okay. We got this. So we're gonna go ahead and fold this in half, and then we're gonna place it on the top of bottom of our tumbler, like so. And we're gonna make a little line. Remember, these are handmade, so if they're not perfectly centered, it's okay, as long as you have a pretty good center there. Okay, next we're gonna take our painter's tape right here and we're gonna line it up to that line to start creating our middle. I also like to use a level over here. I know, super handy with these tools. And just to make sure that my eyes are not crooked today, because sometimes I think my eyes are seeing straight and then I realize it and I'm like, oh, never mind, I need that ruler. So after you put your painter's tape and you find your middle, then you're ready to get started. We're gonna use the painter's tape here to create our lines. Super cheap method. That way you don't have to do any measuring. If you're like me, you are terrible with numbers and you just prefer to do it the easy way. So I'm gonna start at the bottom of my tumbler and I'm just gonna line up the painter's tape from bottom to the top. You can go all the way up if you want, or you can stop. I'm gonna stop about 3 inches from the top. I wanna put a decal on the top, so I wanna make sure I leave enough room for that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab each piece and line it up to the next. Make sure they're super straight and they're super flat, no wrinkles. That way your lines could be very crisp and very pretty. Okay, so while I'm placing my tape here, let's talk about my nails, okay? Before you guys call me out, because I know you guys will, I know you guys are gonna say that my nails are chipping, but what you can't see is that they're really designs. They're little green clouds, okay? Or little green bushes, or whatever you wanna call it. But anyway, I am struggling here, so please forgive my nails. They look awful. We did some gardening and then we went camping and swimming, so you know. So I promise my next tutorial, my nails will be so nice, okay? So try not to focus on my little bushes or little green leaves on my nails, okay? They're designs. Okay, so after we put our tape, we want to label it. I'm doing black and white, so I put black, white, and I put an extra strip on the top that's just gonna come off. That's just to have a nice crisp lines all the way down. So remove the first color that you're gonna use. I always go from darkest to light. So obviously I'm gonna start with my black and then my white. So after you've removed all your strips, you can start with painting your cup. I'm gonna paint it black just to give it a nice base for my glitter. So I'll be using the Waverly chalk paint in black, and it's one of my favorite chalk paints. It works so well, has great coverage. You're gonna go ahead and see how well one coat of paint does on this cup. So, like I said, I did use a prep tumbler from the Steel Magnolias. If you can splurge, guys, splurge on the prep cups, okay? Do not sleep on them. I know you're like, oh, well, I'll just spray paint it myself. I'm telling you, this cuts down your prep time. It cuts down on anything you have to do. You can just take it right out of the box and go ahead and use it. So 10 out of 10 recommend. Go ahead and get yourself the prepped ones from the Steel Magnolias. They save so much time. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my black glitter to the bottom of my cup, so I'm making sure to paint the bottom as well. After your paint dries, get some trusty devil's glue and mix it into your paint, and then that's what I'm going to use to adhere my glitter. This will even give it a much darker base so your glitter goes on there effortlessly and flawlessly, and hopefully we only have to do one coat of glitter. Remember, one coat is totally the exception. 2 coats is usually the norm, so don't beat yourself up if you have to put another coat. So we're gonna go ahead, like I tell you guys all the time, make sure you do thin coats, no streaks, no loogies, no blobs or anything. Go thin coats and then put your glitter on there and then move on to the next strip. The black glitter that I'm using today is Titanium by Backfist Customs. It is super sparkly under epoxy. It keeps its sparkle and it is just the perfect black. Yes, it has a lot of silver specks, but that's kind of what you need when you're using black glitter, because if it doesn't have silver specks, it is going to look dark and dull under epoxy and it won't sparkle. So just keep that in mind when choosing your black glitters. So I'm gonna keep on bringing it down. I got 2 more stripes to do, and then hopefully we only need 1 coat of glitter. Okay, so now we're gonna brush off any excess glitter and just check and make sure that we got full coverage. If you do need another coat of glitter, just go ahead and apply it with Mod Podge and put on your second coat. You want to make sure that you remove your tape almost immediately or as soon as possible after glittering. This will ensure that your lines stay nice and crisp and you don't lift up any glitter. So this is like my favorite part. Look, removing the tape is so satisfying and those lines are super crisp, which is exactly what we want. Next, we're gonna go in with our white glitter. I am using Wedding Bells by Backfist Customs, and I am using straight Mod Podge to apply my glitter. Since my cup is already prep white, no need to paint it. You can use straight Mod Podge, and I'm going to do a light thin coat with no streaks, no lumps or clumps, just to make sure I have the perfect glitter adhesion and it lays perfectly and we don't have to do 2 coats. So cross your fingers, it only takes 1 coat. So I'm just gonna work my way down the cup here, slowly, take your time. I like to do each section at a time because Mod Podge dries so quickly, and especially on those little sections that you have to be careful on your edges, it just takes a while to get it just right. You don't wanna leave big clumps of glue. As you saw there, I'm wiping some off because I put too much. But just make sure you don't leave any streaks because any streaks will show under your glitter and you don't want that. You don't want to have to fix that. So better to do 2 light coats than to do 1 lumpy, ugly coat. Now for the fun part, to remove the tape. Remember, make sure to take off your tape almost immediately. I know I sound like a broken record, but this will ensure that your lines are nice and crispy. If you do happen to need another coat of glitter, go ahead and do that with Mod Podge before you remove your tape. So now brush off any excess, any little flyaways, and then we're gonna get started on the other side of our cup. Okay, now we are going to paint the other side of our cup. Make sure that you are very careful along your glitter edges. You don't want to get over on your white or your black. So just take your time to do a good job so you don't have to fix mistakes later. I am using a pink chalk paint by Waverly as well. I did add a little bit of pink dispersion paint just to make it a tad bit darker to match my glitter better. So again, do a little thin coat, and after it dries, then you can go in with your glitter and Mod Podge. Next, we are going to add some Devil's Glue to our paint mixture over here, and we're going to apply a thin coat through our whole cup. Remember guys, it dries really quickly, so you got to move quick, but you also got to be very careful along your glitter edges. You do not want to mess up and go over your glitter, but if you do, you can compensate and clean it up with some thicker vinyl strips. So don't sweat it if you mess up. It's okay, there's always ways to fix it. So after we apply our coat of Mod Podge, we're gonna go in with some glitter. I am using Ballet Slipper by Glitter Heart Company. It is a beautiful sparkly pink. I love pink, and this color just gives me all the vibes. So apply your glitter really well, and if you do have to do another coat of glitter after this, just let it dry and then apply another coat with Mod Podge. So look at her, so cute. After this, you want to make sure you seal really well. Next, we're going to apply a coat of Fast Set from CC DIY. It is my favorite fast setting epoxy. This will give it a nice coat, ready for it to be decaled. I am going to sand it really well, especially where I'm going to place my vinyl strips. If you notice, I avoided the big section on the top because that's where my clear vinyl is going to go, and you do not want to sand under clear vinyl because your epoxy will be cloudy and will not shine back up. Okay, so I am using Cricut vinyl here. This is the textured vinyl. I'm going for the silver kind this time. Usually gravitate towards gold, but today we're doing silver. So after you place your lines very straight here, you can move on to your next step. Also, if your lines are a little wonky, you can always compensate by making your vinyl strips a little thicker to make those lines nice and crisp. So don't sweat the small stuff, you got this. Next, we're gonna place our main decal. I got this at Vinyl Craze, and they are amazing. They have so many options. This is a clear decal. It goes on like a sticker, but the edges disappear under epoxy. So it is super simple to use. Just unstick the backing and put it on your cup. Amazing, go check her out. And also, I got these flowers from Vinyl Craze. They are printed with white ink. So that means they could go on any color surface and they'll show up. Look how beautiful and dainty these are. I am obsessed. I cut them out manually with my hands with scissors. That way I can have more control as to where my vinyl would go. But you can certainly place it as a wrap as well. Guys, I wanted to reiterate again, do not sand your tumbler where you are going to place clear decals, whether they are stickers or water slides, because your epoxy will not restore its shine underneath. And then your decal will look cloudy, or you'll see the scratch marks from sanding. So make sure your surface is completely smooth and shiny before you place your decals. This will ensure that your cup stays nice and glossy and shiny underneath. So the last step before epoxying your tumbler is sealing it. I am going to be using Quick Coat by CC DIY to apply a thin coat to seal my tumbler. I love using this product on all my tumblers, but especially on those that have metallic vinyl. This will prevent the epoxy from repelling or any of your vinyl lifting up. So after it dries, which it dries pretty quickly, about 20 minutes, then you can go ahead and epoxy it. I will be epoxying it at least 2 more times and sanding between each layer. And look at her, guys, so pretty. I am in love with these vinyl decals. They are so pretty, so dainty, perfect for a Mother's Day gift, or really this design is perfect for any occasion. So I hope we inspired you this week to make a Misfit floral. I hope this tutorial was helpful. I can't wait to see what you create. We do want to give a shout out to our Patreon members from the Besties group. Thank you for your support, and make sure to subscribe and follow to our Facebook and our Patreon and our YouTube. Till next time, love you guys. Bye.